I think there's a lot of power in these systems, and it's counterintuitive to us that you can have this much power without the ability to generalize. But that's because humans don't have an intuitive sense for just the scope of data that's fed into a system like this. Like, none of us can suck the whole web into our brain like that, right? So we don't have an intuition for what you can do with pretty dumb algorithms trained on that scale of textual data, or and any kind of data. And it's so these are really interesting tools. They can be used for good, for evil, and just for a lot of silly stuff. But they don't have the ability to generalize in radical leaps beyond the information they've been fed. In that way, they're quite different than human brains, or human cultural systems. That's not to say that such systems cannot serve as components within AGI systems, right? I mean, you could perhaps use a Chat GPT type system as one lobe of the artificial brain of an AGI system, but it's some other lobe of that brain that's giving the ability to generalize and make wild creative leaps. It's not the sort of statistical pattern learning and generation system that Chat GPT demonstrates.
Right, so you can continue to innovate, say, ChatGPT from 3.5 to 4 to 5 to 6, but as long as it's a LLM or a large language learning model, then it will never become an AGI because it can't make that leap and generalize on its own.
That's right. But I think what people didn't realize beforehand, and to be honest, I didn't fully realize either, is what percentage of human jobs and human tasks you could obsolete without AGI, right? So I mean, that's something that is a bit hard to predict. So you look at, say, graphic art jobs, pretty much are mostly going to be gone now, right? And I mean, that's not because we have a generally intelligent human artist. It's just because there's so much art already out there, and most graphic art is pretty derivative anyway. So you don't need an AGI. You just need something that mixes and matches pieces of previous artworks in a judicious way based on some human guidance. So now you're not going to make a system that can invent impressionism or cubism or something for the first time. You're not going to get something that is as innovative as Salvador Dali was, right? You're just going to mix and match stuff that was already there. But on the other hand, very few graphic artists earning a living making ads and such are as innovative as a Cezanne or Salvador Dali or Picasso, right? So I mean, you can go a long way toward eliminating the need for human labor and fulfilling human needs without creating AGI. That's very interesting and important in a variety of senses. It still constitutes limited progress toward the AGI problem. And in terms of AI ethics, with which you start off this conversation, these narrow AI systems, as capable as they are still, going to dance to the tune of their human masters, because they don't have the contextualization in the world to really perform it as autonomous agents in the way that an AGI system could.